Hi all, welcome to the FIFA 20's Bundesliga League SBC guide. We've got Matheus Cunha and Jean-Paul Boetius. Actually, when I look at the cards, Boetius looks half decent, and to be honest, same for Matheus Cunha. I initially had a little criticism because of the ratings, but if we could smash the leagues, it would be awesome. Sub to the channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter at @GIsLegend. All the links are down below for follows to the channel and social media links as always, and I'll be working quite hard getting these routes precisely up later in the SBC guide, which will be going live soon enough. It's kind of just waiting until League SBC's dropped. But in terms of packs, you're roughly getting about 325k worth of packs, which is not a bad return actually. And when you put the spend in relation, it's about between 160 and 185k for what I'm seeing at the moment. Mains is about a 6 to 7k route for a small rare gold push pack, which is a 25k pack. It's like a normal 50k pack, but it's half the pack, and which in all honesty is not too bad. Dortmund is 12k for a 30k pack. I think there is a lot of flexibility in this route. I've put Paco Alcacer and Hazard and Piszczek. I would assume looking at it, there is a lot more given it. I could probably take out the bronze right back, probably throw in other golds, but with all of them there is lots of flexibility. Don't go all out and just copy my routes, folks, mainly because I've just tried to quickly go over where I've thought, right, all the golds logically fit here, but then there might be bronzes or silvers that I may have missed accordingly, and it's quite easily done. You're trying to make it as easy as possible for yourself. Like Fortuna Dusseldorf's a 10k squad, but it's like a 6k pack, so it's not exactly worth it. The first two, fun enough, are, so that's a good sign. And Augsburg is 9k for a rare mixed players pack. That could prove quite good, so I would say it's a 10k pack. Your usual worth isn't too bad. Like, you're getting 4 gold rares, 4 rare silvers, 4 rare bronzes. All you need is one half decent bronze or silver in there to kind of make your money. Bayern Munich is a mega pack for 20k. Now you only need half a dozen Bayern. Now you'll see everyone use the same 6 Bayern players, which is like Arp, Hoffman or Ulreich, Cousins, Davis, maybe Tolisso and Pavard. So you will see them be continually used. So try and get this is why they've made it 6, because they knew right away if they made it the usual format of like a full 11, Bayern Munich would cost like 100k and nobody would be doing League SBCs. Everyone would be on one route and they would never be able to do Bayern Munich. So that's why it's like 20k at the moment to do, and it'll probably drop as time settles. The other 5 players you can just go like half decent rated players just to make it work. Eintracht Frankfurt 8k for a rare mixed players pack. I was hoping Rona was an inform, and then obviously you would in theory he'd be quite a popular target. Just don't use Trap in Frankfurt's case, for what I've seen, because Trap's obviously 83, and with all the routes you try and fit bronzes and silvers where it need be. Don't all just rely on gold if it doesn't necessarily need it. If a bronze or a silver is cheaper, you logically just go that way. Heifer 7k Prime Electrum Players Pack, which is 20k, and I would imagine you'll be able to make the difference back. And especially since looking at it, it's mostly non-rare golds in Heifer Berlin's team. So if you're very good on like non-rare bidding, I would imagine you could pull off maybe even a lot cheaper, even at 350 each for all it's worth. Cologne 8k for a rare gold pack, definitely worth doing. I would say, looking at it, because there's a lot of golds within the team already, I've got like one of the silvers as well, but like Hector is probably too cheap, but the strikers and mids are generally where the minimal spends are. But with all of them, bronzes, silvers, you just got to kind of supplement accordingly. But for 8k for Cologne, that is good value. Bayer Leverkusen 9k for a 25k pack, the premium gold players pack, definitely worth doing. Now I've just threw Paulinho in just because it was like the silver that I could throw in. Obviously Valand you're never going to use to make this work. You're just going to go Pujan Palo or somebody else that's just fairly cheap elsewhere to compensate. But what you generally will find is that it's fairly straightforward doing the because Alario will be commonly used. It's just you will find commonly that it's like or you can go as long as you get like the back 5, the goalie, and then like 3 mids, like 3 central mids. It's just a case of like, you can go Alario and then a cheap striker. In Mönchengladbach's case, you don't want to be using obviously Sommer. That's 7k for that, for 20, the same pack as Leverkusen Premium Gold Players pack. That, my assumption, looking at these League SBCs, people are going to grind these out. If they stay at these prices, a 25k pack of this value is worth doing. Like, there's no qualms about it. Like, who isn't going to knock 7k for a 25k pack? You could keep doing it. You just going to get folks saying, what's the worthwhile teams? Borussia Mönchengladbach, Bayer Leverkusen. If they're these prices, they're worth doing. Paderborn, 15 to 20k. There's such a variance between PlayStation, Xbox and PC for this one, so keep that in mind. There's not many cheap players. I'm lucky that I've got like a couple of them packed, but I wouldn't be at the moment selling them really, because I just kind of watch and see what the prices develop into, and also I'd kind of want to keep bulking up the club anyway. That's where I would be going with it. But Paderborn is the next most expensive route other than Bayern Munich for what I've seen, and that will probably remain that way for probably the rest of FIFA, so keep that in mind. Red Bull Leipzig, another cheap route, 8k for a 30k pack. Rare Electrums, a lot of folk really rate these packs, and to be honest, I'm kind of the same. I quite like them, especially when you've got, like, if you've got like good golds to kind of like work with. In this case, like, you've got like Dem, who's fairly cheap, Adams, and then you've got obviously Vogo, and then the three French centre backs that a lot of folk will use, so keep that in mind when you're putting that together. Folk may go with Orban, so keep that in mind. Freiburg, 8k for an Electrum Players pack. One of the other ones that is not worth doing because of the pack, but this one has a lot of gold within the team, so you have quite a lot of flexibility to keep the cost down to make it worthwhile. So you may find this could be a route that you end up packing quite a lot of the players, or you buy them like sniping cheap. But Freiburg, fairly straightforward and fairly cheap. If you probably do it on bid or sniping, I would say, looking at it, it's one of those ones. Schalke, 8k for this one. This is another one that looks like could be done for a lot cheaper, but time will tell, of course, as people want to do it, as it were. Like 8k for a Premium Gold Players pack, I would say like Burgstaller, are like your common strikers. Then like midfield wise, like Schoff will be most commonly used, and then it comes down to that defence of like Caliguri and Sani and Stasic, those type of players. In Hoffenheim's case, 7-8k for this one. Now I threw Baumann as like the initial goalkeeper. This is one of these ones where you could probably take him out and go elsewhere. You could probably go Kadra at right wing back, and then maybe say someone else in goals to try and ease the chemistry and the prices down. But there's always plenty of ways around it, and that's where it'll hopefully make it nice and cheap as the rest of FIFA goes. Union Berlin, 10, 12, 15k. There's so much fluctuation in this one. PlayStation's got it 10, Xbox is like 13, and PC's like 15, 16k. It just keeps creeping up and creeping up, I'm noticing. But small gold players pack, bronze pack method will be probably very commonly used for Union Berlin, and then you're just going to have to try and rely on getting Glikiewicz in and try and get some of those silvers in on cheap. Wolfsburg, 7k, and I would say for a 15k pack isn't too shabby. Your big issue is Weghorst. You don't probably need to use them, but it comes down to getting another goalie other than main like options, really. Like, that's where you've got like your goalkeeping options are where you've got to address. If you can get that sorted out, and then you can focus on the rest of the team accordingly. So like with Werder Bremen, same issue. You've got Pavlenka to consider, so you don't want to be using Pavlenka when he's high rated. You want to kind of go elsewhere, and that's why we've got Capino in. But nice and straightforward for a 7k spend for Werder Bremen. So all told, when you kind of roughly put your costs together, as I said, that's like it's between like 1 50 at the lowest to like 180, 190k, and it comes down to your discretion. Like, I would say in the end they are actually worth doing when I initially criticised them, but all in all, let me know in the comments down below who do you prefer of the two cards. Smash likes always, sub to channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter at GSLegend, and I'll catch you all later.